if you've never endured any punishment, you've never been punished and have to keep going forward or keep your hands up, you'll just turn around and go to the ground and go to the fetal position and get your ass kicked. You got to absorb pain, and the only way, you see it on Facebook all the time, and I'm going to get some ridicule there, but you see there's all these little kicks, and you have 3 blokes attack him and go bang, 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 knock them all down. Man, what a lad.
It's time to run the Barracuda!
Yeah!
Everybody do it! Do what big? Come on and do the Barracuda!
G'day viewers. How do you feel? Well, I feel great. Welcome to another episode of the Gold Coast vs Drew Cruck podcast show. Let's go. Today's podcast, as always, is brought to you by Koala Karma, the chill out drink. Koala Karma, the chill out drink. A couple of ladies I've met put together a formula with all natural ingredients. The stuff that you find in, say, the health food shops that just chill you out, man. And they put it in a can. Can you believe that? The idea that has always been there. So, Koala Karma, here's to you. We always start our episodes off with a good Koala Karma. And today I've got a feeling we're going to have a beer or two. Today's episode is with Dave Turner from House of Pain Boxing Gym in Chambers Flat in Brisbane. Let's just get straight into it. Are you there, boys?
Mate, that was it's an Aussie mob done, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of Gold Coast ladies designed the whole thing. They were on Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I watched that show.
Mate, we're recording Dave. What am I thinking? You're Dave Taylor. Dave Turner.
Dave Turner, that's it, mate. That's it,
Who's
mate.
Dave Taylor, the footy player?
Mate, he is a footy player. He is a footy player. Not a bad footy player, but he's no Dave Turner, mate.
He's no Dave Turner, no way. Actually, I'd like to see a bit of a fight between Dave Turner and Dave Taylor. That'd be something to watch.
Mate, yeah, I could taper it back a bit for him, it'd be right. Hold him up a bit.
So what's going on, mate?
Mate, big day. Both you've asked me to come down and have a bit of a chat with you, and happy days. I've known you for 3-4 years on Facebook. We met last week for the first time, and I like your style, mate. Like you're a smaller version of me. Yeah,
mate. Well, hey, like I've said it on the show before, the reason I started all this stuff is I kind of thought, I sort of know the feeling of I like people that are moving forward with something. Like, look at you. You worked all day yesterday. I remember we had a phone call yesterday, and I was stuffed, mate. I feel a bit sick today, to be honest. I never get sick. But yesterday afternoon, I was feeling just a bit like, we had a big day in this sign, where I work. And you're on the phone going, oh, mate, just one of those days. I'm like, I'm with you, Dave. I could feel it. But then Facebook, I was on up till about 11:30 last night, and on Facebook, bang, House of Pain Gym. Here's a photo of you standing in front of 40 or 50 of your gym, your boxing train. Yeah. What do you call it? And I'm like, oh man, I've been sitting on this couch.
Mate, it's there's a lot of blokes out there doing the same as me. I work 5 days a week. I started back to work last week for a 3-day week, and my first day to have off, it was with you. I cancelled that day and spent a day with you. But mate, it's tough. It's tough to make a living, and it's just sort of who you are, I think. And we complain about it, but at the end of the day, we don't expect any different. I run a crew of blokes at work, and we work hard. We all work hard, and I like to lead the way, and I hope I lead by example. And a lot of things I do, just not work. And it gets to you a little bit. Sometimes you have those days where it's just too much, but then, come Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, footy training with the kids, you sort of just got to relift and go again, and you don't have a choice. There's not a choice. I mean, it's just what we do, and you sort of pick that fight for yourself. You pick that one, and that's the way you want to live it, and that's where you roll it. And when the eyes shut at night, you just think, I've done some good today, and I really do feel that. That's how I feel about every day. I do my best at what I do. I've always been a high achiever in anything athletic, work, whatever it may be. I sort of commit 100%. Puts a lot of pressure on yourself, but what gets me ticking, it's how I roll.
Have you ever, it sounds like this cycle of, daytime work, nighttime training, everyone, and you've got, especially a young boy, you've got kids, but a young boy in footy, yeah?
And I got into the footy last year. Young bloke played soccer 2 years ago, and he had a good time. And we coached a friend of mine, Danny Dekche. He's the man. He coaches the soccer. He's good. He's a Pommy born and bred, as I am, but he's full tilt. I try and avoid the accent. And he coached the kids soccer, and we had some good fun with it. And it sort of just went back to the old my boxing training how I train people and kids in boxing, and it's that discipline and the respect for each other and themselves. And then he went over to footy, and the team was like 30 people strong. It was like 8 kids out there at once, and young bloke, he's his first season there. He's getting no game time, and as a group of parents, we took 5 or 6 of us over from the soccer club. We said to ourselves, look, this year we're not coaching, boys. Let's just watch and just let someone else take the reins. And we just looked at each other and said, game 2, 3 into it. The boys weren't getting much of a run. I said, look, let's go. And we took a team on, and we took all of our kids that had never played before. And then we were handed the kids that the regular coach wanted to let us have. So you can expect we didn't get the best kids. We got a few kids that were a bit of a handful. And I tell you what, we had tears. One young fella, I call him Goanna, little bloke, he scored a try, and he did the Greg Inglis Goanna. I was pretty impressed with it. A little white fella too. This is good. And he did the Goanna, he nicknamed the Goanna, and from there he was in my team, one of the kids, and he was crying for the first couple of weeks to his mum, and she come up to me and said, Dave, I'm back, and my boy loves footy and he just doesn't want to play now. You're too hard on him, And I said, well, look, you've got 2 choices really. You can let him go to the other team that he wants to do, and then that will send the message that whenever he gets a little bit tough in life, you're going to save him, or you can leave him with me and see what happens in a couple of weeks. And they're the 2 choices. There's no other choice.
Yeah, right.
And I said, watch what happens. And funny enough, in 2 weeks' time, we had a hard training session, and he came up to me after training, and his dad works in the mines, so he's in and out a bit. And his sister's like 20 years older than him. There's a bit of a gap there. And he put his arms around me. He said, that was the best training session I've ever had, coach. And I thought, that'll do me. And then that weekend, he played footy for me, and he walked off, put his arm around me, and just guided me off the field. Cool. And it was cool, mate. And at the end of the season, one of these things that sort of drove me to go again this year was in the speeches at the end when we presented all the trophies to the kids and the bags and everything else we got for him. He, I told that story, and his mum was crying. So with obviously relief and joy to see a son that had been bullied a little bit as well, I might add, and he has this big staunch attitude, but I can sort of see through that a little bit, and I can see just a frail little fella trying to roll with the big boys, so to speak, and these are the things. This young fella, he put his arms around me. We was floating around in the water out there. I took my boat up. The kids had a great time. All our team were there, and the coaching staff were there, and he said, you're the best coach I've ever had. And he put his arm and just dunked me under the water. I said, mate, that's quality. That's a small me. So, back into the footy now. And again this year, I was just a little prank call yesterday to one of the mums. And I said, look, I've got some bad news. I can't coach the boys this year. And she said, oh, no. So I said, no, just playing with you. So, yeah, it's a bit of fun. Yeah.
But why? Why can you do it well?
Mate,
is it your years of gym training and being with, when you get into a particularly a boxing gym, all egos slip away. Like you can, what I mean? There's no, everyone gets sort of leveled out and respected if you're having a good go.
You earn your respect in the boxing gym. It's no matter what you drive, the flash cars, the money you earn, the role in society you play, what you even think yourself. The boys that bleed together stay together. That's it. It's as simple as that. We work hard. There's nowhere to hide in a boxing gym. So I have that mentality that, you've got to perform at your best all the time. And I'm looking for the kids. With all the kids I train, I run a kids boxing session as well. And that's going superstar. And I really enjoy it. I do 3 to 4 sessions a week, different guys. But the kids I do once a week, and I love it. They've come so far, and I'm getting the kids that parents are looking for some help. And And it puts heaps of pressure on myself and my family and my kids included. But, we keep doing it, and it's good. I never shout at the kids. I'm focused. My voice, I sometimes turn to the parents. I listen, I'm not angry. I'm just focused. And it's not always fun and games. It can be, but prior to that, you've got to get the discipline. You've got to understand what we're doing. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, but it does matter if you don't do your best. It's always been the way, and that's how I teach the kids. I can relate to them. I'm a big kid myself, and you are. You. I'm sure you work well with kids. I'm sure it's easy for you. It is for me. I'm the king of the kids. I love it. I love how they respond to me. And I've said this over and over again. I've done some pretty big things in my life with sport. And but I really want to be remembered for the bloke that made people laugh and just can make fun of himself. I've been fighting and since I was 13, and I'm 45, and I'm going again in July.
What made you start at 13? Oh, before you answer that,
yeah,
these kids that do it quite young, your son there, he's probably what, 10, something like that.
He's 9.
Okay, right. So naturally, their aspirations, they're feeling strong. They're starting to get these sort of skills under their belt that make them feel good within their bodies. Do you think they'll, will they be like you and actually chase competition? How'd you do it?
That's from how I started, and I'll go answer that part of the first. What happened with me, mate? You can see the shirt that I'm wearing, 414 Immortals. Do you know what that means? At 414. Okay, that's the old Woodridge postcode.
Right.
I'm a Woodridge boy. I came from England when I was 2 years old with my mum and dad and a brother and 2 sisters. Like, we were boat people. Like, we came 10-pound palms. Yeah. That's how we got to Australia. It was 6 weeks on a boat. Didn't know anyone here. We were established in Woodridge. My dad's a tradesman. He's a pattern maker by trade. And my brother and I are both pattern makers as well. So we sort of followed in those footsteps. And that's how we got to Australia. And the shirt that I wear is where it all started. So, but then we moved the family home to Chambers Flat. And I was still at school. So I was staying at a friend of mine's place, Danny and Scotty Spence. And there was a martial arts gym at the school, and I used to go to their place and stay there in the afternoons and wait for Dad to pick me up after work. My dad was a hard worker. He showed me the way. And with that, I thought I could train at the school a couple of days a week and then, fill some time up, basically. So that's how the martial arts started, and I quite enjoyed it, and I was pretty handy at it. It just seemed it was something I was not too bad at. And then from there...
Did you have a good coach then?
I had a really good coach. He's a Gold Coast boy, Tony Shimkowski, his name was. I haven't seen him for years and years and years, but really cool guy, little fella, really handy, but just he's a school teacher, just a good bloke. So, being in that sort of environment, he's into jet skis and, outdoor life, and I sort of really warmed to him and had a good relationship with him. This is when I was like a little kid. And so then from there, I used to do that session, then go over to Holland Park and train over at Holland Park from Woodridge with him. Excuse me. And then my dad used to wake me on the freeway and pick me up on the freeway and then take me out to Chambers Flat. So it was a big, massive circle and cycle. And I came back from the first session, and there's something my dad, I said, Dad, I want to do this training. I'm going to be a black belt and I'm going to be an instructor. This was day one.
Wow.
I went in there and that's what I said to him. And 3 years later, I had a black belt. I was jumping through the belts, and I was competing in the club stuff and just dominating, and I was just tough. And I didn't try to be. It was just what I was. It was there. I don't know. And people say, "Why do you do it?" I say, "Because it's who I am. It's what I do." And I've always said that. I don't know. And yeah, that's how the martial arts sort of thing started. And it was good discipline for the martial arts, the gradings, all that sort of stuff. I look at things a little bit different now, but at the time, as a kid, I thought that was it. I remember saying to my dad, I said, martial arts, kickboxers are heaps stronger and heaps better than boxers. But now doing the both, I've got a little bit different opinion, because now, then I was boxing one weekend, fighting, and then kickboxing the next weekend. It was just relentless. I was fighting all the time.
Wow.
And, with the kickboxing, I just was getting bashed. My legs were getting hammered because it was shin on shin all the